Hello and welcome to FA Cup Rewind. Once again, we're at the National Football Museum in Manchester to celebrate the competition's unique nature and to remember some of its unlikely heroes. The fifth round marks a gear change for the lucky 16 teams left in the competition as they start to contemplate the possibility of making it all the way to Wembley. They've survived the early battles against unfamiliar opponents. They might have even toppled a big club along the way, so to go out at this stage would be tantamount to disaster. Our matches today demonstrate the highs and lows, the successes and failures, and tell the stories behind some of the FA Cup's greatest results. We start in 1991 and a derby between those closest of rivals, Everton and Liverpool. In the first game at Anfield, the sides fought out a 0-0 draw, so it was across to Goodison Park for a replay 3 days later, in what proved to be one of the most exhilarating nights in FA Cup history, and one that would ultimately have repercussions that nobody could have foreseen.
Everton against Liverpool, FA Cup fifth round replay. That's our main feature, coming after a trailer on Sunday that had almost everything. Let's remind you.
And real trouble here, Sharp, good save, Nevin, good save again. Nevin, out again by Ablett. Burrows in trouble from McCall, recovered, Nevin, and the referee just points to the spot. Or has he pointed at the goal kick? No, he's pointed for a goal kick. And he's surrounded by Everton players who cannot believe it. Barnes, with a bit of space this time. Still Barnes, Mulvey! Good save. Nicol, Speedy! He got a touch, it's a corner. Barnes again, might have a crack. Beardsley, oh, goodness me. So close. Discussions of Sunday continue till Wednesday. The goal kick, as Kenny Dalglish described the penalty incident, the derby tackle. But for the players, it's a question of being back to square one with one or two interesting new pieces on the board. For Everton, Andy Hinchcliffe returns after injury, which means that John Eberle can move into midfield. The surprises are the recall of Mike Newell and more particularly the dropping to substitute of Stuart McCall. Peter Beardsley starts a match for Liverpool for the first time since December the 15th. Barry Venison, who came on after 15 minutes of the match on Sunday to replace Steve McMahon, keeps his place, but the man who stands down is the new boy, David Speedy. Not quite the birthday present he'd hoped for. He's 31 today. It's not been the easiest few days for the referee, Neil Midgley, but he gave a genuine decision as he and the linesman saw it at one glance. And, you know, players have been known to miss open goals. Ablett giving an early feel of the ball to Liverpool. Their goalkeeper, Bruce Grobbelaar, and Liverpool attacking the goal to the right. It's Peter Beardsley loses the first challenge to Kevin Ratcliffe. Barry Venison wearing 11 but playing in his usual position at right back, and Martin Keown continuing where he left off in the position on Sunday. Eberle with the throw to Hinchcliffe, to Newell. Venison.
Couple of early interesting variations on formations. David Burrows is playing in the midfield, give Liverpool that competitive edge, missing of course with Ronnie Whelan and Steve McMahon injured, and Steve Staunton will play an orthodox left back role. From Everton's point of view, Pat Nevin will float around, I think, more behind the front two now that Newell is playing alongside Sharp.
On by Eberle, and it comes to him. I think he was a little surprised to find himself in so much space. Didn't really get hold of it, didn't get a touch from Pat Nevin, who was lunging in. Barnes. Everett just got a nick of that. But here's Beardsley. Well struck, good start. Rush! Brilliant save on the second occasion by Neville Southall. Really did enormously well then. Surely significant that Peter Beardsley, the first time he got the ball, he was prepared to have a crack at goal. That's what his manager has criticised him for. Although he was scoring well early on. That was a good stop. He couldn't hold on to it, but the recovery here was magnificent to get the block in.
Last few minutes, Pat Nevin sort of staying out wide on the right as an orthodox winger, abandoning his first 20 minutes where he was trying to get behind the front two, but not getting any space.
Sharp. Ratcliffe actually had quite a lot of room to move into then. And Sharp was the only one up, and he didn't really give him a terribly good ball. One by Newell. Nevin. Big hands came down on it. It was a good enough strike, but it never convinced me it was going to beat Grobbelaar. Nicol. Mulby. Hussein. Barnes. Side netting. Low cross that reached Barnes, and the wrong side of the post from his viewpoint.
Bit frustrated there, John Barnes, because he did the hard work. I mean, he brought it under control, magnificent, and then with it sitting up on his left foot, I thought he must at least get it on the goal, but put it into the side net, and he'll be disappointed.
Free kick against Ablett. Who takes the ball? There's Martin Keown. Won by Burrows. Hinchcliffe. Watson. Newell. Good challenge by Staunton. Plays it early to Rush. And he lost it, the Everton skipper. Rush in on Southall. And off the line brilliantly by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley, and it's deflected off the goalkeeper and into the other corner. Well, I'm afraid that has to go down as an error by Kevin Ratcliffe in the first place, which allowed Rush to run in. And in spite of the brilliant clearance off the line by Hinchcliffe, Beardsley, following up, does what his manager says he should be doing, putting the ball in the net. Brilliant rescue by Hinchcliffe, a little nod sideways and first time effort that the goalkeeper got to and deflected past the man on the line. So a lead to Liverpool with 32 minutes gone.
Well, Liverpool's possession game finally gave them that opening, but disappointment, Kevin Ratcliffe. We say it so many times. Some occasion in the old-fashioned welly into the crowd is the one in those one-against-one situations. He tried to dribble past Ian Rush, and that set the final opening in motion, and he'll be very frustrated. Well, and there's Kenny Dalglish, very pleased, I'm sure, with his team's display. There's no question they deserve now to be ahead. The last 20 minutes, they've been Liverpool at their best.
And they go off with a half-time lead, given them in the 32nd minute by Peter Beardsley, his 12th goal of the season, after the error by the Everton captain, Kevin Ratcliffe. Stuart McCall on as a substitute for Everton at the start of the second half. And I imagine there would have been a few conversations during the half-time interval about luck. One or two remembering 1977 in the semi-final, when Everton had what they still believe was a good goal by Brian Hamilton, wiped off by the referee that evening, Clive Thomas. And in the replay, Liverpool won comfortably by 3-0. And also more recently, the thought that Hinchcliffe would probably have saved Beardsley's shot had it not been deflected by the goalkeeper and Kevin Ratcliffe. Another free kick to Everton. Watson to take. Well out by Sharp. This is Nevin. Newell at the back post. McDonald's. Newell beaten to it by Barry Venison. Hinchcliffe. Sharp! Yes! Grobbelaar had hands on it, but couldn't stop it going home. Cross from the right, cross from the left, and inside 2 minutes of the second half, it's all square. Really good long cross. Sharp got up well. Grobbelaar had it for a second, but couldn't hold it out. Such was the force.
Great header by Graham Sharp. Good cross by Hinchcliffe. It just got there, a little bit of element of luck, Everton, because it just clipped off Steve Nicol, which just took it towards the far post and gave the Graham Sharp a free header and slightly wrong-footed Hussain.
Mulvey is square. That's a good shot. And Southall deciding to push it out, not try to hold it, push it out for some distance. But Goodison Park has really come alive now. It's exactly what Everton were praying for. An early goal.
Just clips off Steve Nicol's head there and carries it beyond actually Ablett, and it's Steve Staunton trying to retrieve it, seeing the danger, but Sharp so dangerous and a very powerful header. Bruce Grobbelaar got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out.
Nevin. Newell is just inside Ablett. Far side is Sharp. At the back of the area is McCall, but Nicol saw that. It's run loose, Nevin, and it's over the top. He can't quite believe that. Just a moment then when it looked as though Newell could have been offside. But then got in each other's way, Ablett and Nicol. Maybe a player on the left, as we looked at that, would have played Newell onside. I don't know. But anyway, Nevin was allowed to go on. And over the top.
Ablett and Hussain, I think it was in the end, who tackled each other, and Patton probably surprised to get all that time in, but managed to do that, but also the goal, unfortunately.
McDonald's got a little flick on, and wide by Newell. Ratcliffe, the linesman had a good view. Mulvey. Keown had to climb well. And Ratcliffe didn't get rid of it first time. Burrows having to go back a long way, and look how Liverpool are being harried. But they still keep their cool. This is Beardsley. It's still Beardsley. Yo, what a goal! What a goal by Peter Beardsley. Well, surely his manager must concede the point now. He has to be a first-team player in the starting lineup. Scored both, made this out of nothing. There was Barnes on for him, and he hit an absolute beauty which curled away from the clutching hand of Neville Southall.
Absolute screamer, just turns it away from Martin Keown, hits it with his left foot, and from the minute he left his boot, Neville Southall had no chance, and suddenly, from hanging on for 20 minutes at one apiece, Peter Beardsley's conjured up a really special goal. You won't see beaten this better this season, and magnificent strike, his second goal of the game, and, well, I wonder what Mr. Dalglish will say after the game. I think you could say David Speedy and Ray Hout might well sit down now on the bench and might not be brought into the action. But it really was their first attack. Kenny Dalglish He did jump up, I can assure you, when the goal went in. He looked pretty relaxed there, and not surprisingly seen his side now go 2-1 up.
Well, it's a pastime in the sport, picking teams, whether they be for clubs or for England, and he can't have done his England hopes any harm. Peter Beardsley on this show. And that's a miss by Nicol! And Sharp scores his second too. An absolute nonsense between Nicol and Grobbelaar. And a minor pitch invasion, which is totally about celebration. On by Newell. Nicol, Grobbelaar is there to collect. But Nicol thought that Grobbelaar was at home, and had he stayed there, the back pass would have been simple. And it's all square once more. Would you believe it?
One mistake each now, isn't it? Steve Nicol couldn't have heard a call. I assume Bruce Grobbelaar must have called, but perhaps in the noise he didn't hear it, knocked it back. Bruce Grobbelaar was next door to him, and Graham Sharp wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to miss it or anything, just run it and dribbled it into the net, and again the game's turned round on its head.
2 goals in 2 minutes. And Graham Sharp, who'd had the drought, suddenly has found the touch again. How often that happens too. The centre forward finally gets one. He gets another. Nicol was so close to Grobbelaar, he almost was looking into his eyes as he played the ball past him. Mulby. John Barnes hasn't seen much of the ball in the second half. Takes on Watson and wrong foots him. And Southall had to stretch to put that out of trouble's way. Rush in front of the goalkeeper. Played back again to Mulby. On by Rush. He's done it again. His 24th goal against Everton. This is now match number 28. Back to Mulby. Up for Rush, who got there first, and the ball between Hinchcliffe and Southall, who showed quite clearly what he thought about it. Not again, surely, but it is. Pat Nevin is to be replaced. And it's Tony Cottee who comes on. With the message, presumably, we can still do it. McDonald. Meat and drink to Bruce Grobbelaar. The anxiety showing almost on the face of Kenny Dalglish then. Inside the last 2 minutes. Play on, says the referee. Barnes. That could have gone anywhere. Came off Ratcliffe. Southall was removed into the last minute. Ablett wins it. Down to McDonald. Not sure that Tony Cottee's had a touch yet. He might get one now! What a story. Flicked on, and Cottee was the quickest to get round the back. Got there between Ablett and Bruce Grobbelaar, and it's 3 apiece. The goal in the 89th minute.
What an amazing game. That is the sort of opportunity he loves. He feeds off, anticipated it superbly. Stuart McCall it was who clipped the ball through. kept his head well, picked his spot, and who would have believed? There we are, 3-3.
A penny for your thoughts. And still, they can smile, and how good that is to see. Barnes. Keown didn't get there. Rush! Goal kick. And we won't play anymore, but we will play another 30 minutes to see if this tie can be decided. And away we go again. Everton attacking the goal to the left. And they know that if there's to be another replay, it will be back here in a week's time. Sharp. McDonald. Cotty. Newell is underneath it. Cotty!
It was looked easier, the chance, to be fair. He's knocked it back. You can see him running into the penalty area as it's headed back across. It just comes behind him, and he has to hook it from behind him. That's why he couldn't keep it down.
Barnes.
It's twice now John Barnes has just been able to run at Neil McDonald, and they must make sure that they mark him a bit tighter, because when he's running at defenders, he goes past them so easy.
And Pat Nevin was still on the pitch. He was often helping out in that situation. Rush, just on the edge of the 6-yard area. Gets the header! Brilliant save! This is the header by Rush. It was a good header and an even better save. Beardsley. Staunton. And it's Venison, and it's another brilliant save by Neville Southall.
That was the best of the lot. Really was a great header by Venison, headed it down, and somehow he scooped it out just near the goal line. Ablett.
Liverpool certainly calling the tune again. And this time there will be a free kick. For the obstruction. Indirect. Which is academic from out there. Three waiting, one of them is Hussein. And it's in from John Barnes. Curler right over the top. And once more, Liverpool lead. Dipped, curled, and came inside the post, clipped off it to go home.
Fantastic shot. I mean, each time a goal goes in, you say that's the best goal of the night.
And here's McCall. Nicol in the way. Cotty to chase with Nicol once more. Beardsley. Venison. This is Mike Newell. McCall. Grobbelaar made sure that it was his. Staunton felt the brunt of that. Grobbelaar again. Get out of the road seems to be the gist of that. Well, whatever the age, they remember this night. It's been one of the FA Cup ties. Well, he's entitled to think perhaps when we can play like that, how is it that we've been pulled back 3 times? The answer is because Everton have battled every inch of the way. Ha! Oh dear, oh dear. That must be very difficult to take if you're an Evertonian. 8 minutes left. McCall. Ratcliffe. On by Sharp. Offside flag is up against Cotty. Seven goals have been scored, and there are 7 minutes left for an 8th. Cotty. Nobody wide to the right, so he had to go backwards. On the left is Newell, inside with McCall, but not for long. Colin Harvey grabs the ball and throws it to the skipper. Newell. Hinchcliffe. Cotty! Unbelievable! Liverpool have given it away again, and Cotty becomes the 3rd man on the night to score twice. With 6 minutes left, Mulvey's back pass. Hussein let it go, it seemed to me. And Cotty ran on, and Grobbelaar was left with nothing to do to save the day.
You're quite right, Barry. Glenn Hussein thought that Mulvey's knockback was going to reach Bruce Grobbelaar, but again, Tony Cotty showing a goal poacher's anticipation just for such an eventuality. There he was with his left foot again, and it went through Bruce Grobbelaar's legs. 4-all. Goodness me.
And it's mind-boggling stuff, because with great respect to them, one has to say that at times Everton have been outclassed in this match, and yet they've hung on and they've come back 4 times. And for that, Howard Kendall's team deserve undying credit from their supporters. Grobbelaar comes for it and loses it and gets it back at the 2nd time of asking.
Just thought he'd shake us up there as he comes to that cross, in case we were beginning to think that was it. Tony Cotty trying to pounce, trying to get his hat-trick, trying to get back to Upton Park and West Ham.
Mr. Midgley gets a sign from both his linesmen. Standing ovation. These teams drawn to play each other for the 15th time in the Cup, the 19th match in all, and a match which will be remembered as long as the FA Cup is played. Really quite fantastic. A stunning evening's entertainment which had absolutely everything. Brilliant goals from Barnes and from Beardsley. As I said, everything except the result.
So the Merseyside Giants still couldn't be separated, and both teams set about preparations to go again in a 2nd replay. Just 2 days later, though, Liverpool fans were stunned by the news that Kenny Dalglish had quit.
I regret to announce that Kenny Dalglish told the board yesterday of his wish to retire as team manager. Ever since then, the board have made strenuous attempts to make him change his mind. As he will tell you himself, he's determined to give up active participation in professional football.
I've been in the front line and for 20 years, and it's just really a result of 20 years active involvement in football at a very high and successful level that really kind of leads the person has pushed himself to the limit.
See you again tonight, lads.
With the fallout still reverberating around the football world, this time it was acting manager Ronnie Moran who took Liverpool across the park to Goodison. It was Everton, though, who'd win the tie, thanks to Dave Watson.
take the free kick. On by Sharp. And by Watson. And Keown! It's a good stop. There's a hand up in the air. And the follow-up gives Everton the lead. David Watson driving his way through. It was his shot initially, and then an extraordinary moment when Mike Newell had his hand in the air here trying to get to the ball, and it came out to Watson, got a little bit, I think, off Hussein, but found the corner. Everton in front in this fifth round tie for the first time.
So in the end, it was a single goal scored by a Merseysider born and bred that decided the outcome of an epic saga, both on and off the field. From the northwest of England to its southeast corner for our next match, where 4th Division Colchester United have been drawn at home to 1st Division Leeds United. Don Revie's mighty Whites were top of Division 1 and for many were favourites to lift the cup, having been runners-up the previous season.
The club's very much a patriarchal society. Revie runs it with an engaging Dickensian mixture of affection and soul-cleansing discipline. His character, his own almost too quaint Victorian disciplines, seem to reflect on his players, spick and span, hairstyles, even when long, with a certain precise neatness, as though at his request.
Haircuts, well, this is a little pad of mine, I suppose. I don't like short back and sides. I don't like to think I'm too much of a square. But I think if it's a professional sport, and the professional athletes, and I think footballers are, then they should set the image to young schoolboys that this is the right way to look as professional footballers. If you have long hair down your neck on a Saturday, Colin, and it's raining or it's sweating on a summer's afternoon like it is at the moment, it can't be comfortable. They can't be thinking just as clearly as they would be if they were nice and trimmed up and they looked the part and felt the part.
I don't believe that for a minute, but
well,
you're the boss.
In the real despair, though, that must have followed the cup final, say, didn't you have doubts about the ability of certain players to come out this season and do it all again?
I doubted for about 2 or 3 days whether they had the thirst to go on working and wanting to go on doing things. They'll do well again next year because they've got the hunger back, they've got the thirst to sweat and slog. That's the hardest time in a footballer's career, the month before the season starts.
Players and men with their feet firmly on the ground. All right, the city takes them in its stride, but at least it enables them to lead normal lives amongst their own people in the heart of the town they play for. They're not one of your glamour teams. Imagine a Pele or a Eusebio or even the best playing dominoes 3 times a week in the pub with the lads.
Every year they come bouncing back and then we're all set off again and off we go again.
The finest football team in England, and in its purple patches, the finest football team in the world.
In contrast, Colchester had been dubbed Grandad's Army for manager Dick Graham's gathering of players who were just that bit longer in the tooth. More than half the squad were over 30, and their main hope for goals came from 35-year-old striker Ray Crawford. So could experience really triumph over bravado and youthful exuberance? A record crowd was at Layer Road to find out. David Coleman introduces the action for Match of the Day.
Well, let's start with the sort of match the Cup's all about. 4th Division Colchester against the 1st Division leaders, Leeds United. A record crowd of 16,000 jammed into this small 4th Division ground. The pitch looking in perfect order, and a check on the Colchester side shows that manager Dick Graham has opted for experience. 19 years old Mickey Cook is the substitute, and John Gilchrist, the experienced former Millwall defender, wears the number 4 shirt. Wearing number 10, Ray Crawford, the former England international centre-forward, who at all levels of football has always managed to score goals. He'll be marked, of course, by Jack Charlton, the Leeds United former England centre-back. Jack Charlton recovering from a broken nose and still having a little difficulty in breathing properly. The Leeds side, their captain Billy Bremner is still missing, still injured, and Mick Bates continues in the number 4 shirt. Made who deputised for Charlton last week, wears number 11. The Leeds captain is the Irish international Johnny Giles. The referee, Mr. Lydon of Birmingham. And just coming into the picture, the Colchester captain, Bobby Cram, who was formerly with West Bromwich Albion. And this could be an important toss to win, because the wind, gusting and blowing very strongly, mainly from right to left, could be a goalkeeper or defender's nightmare. And who's won it? Rather looked as if Johnny Giles won it, because he put his hand up. Whether it was an acknowledgement of a choice, I'm not sure, but we'll see who kicks off. And Leeds are playing with the wind behind them. Final check on the referee's watch and with the linesman. And Jack Charlton ready to pump a high one straight away, being carried long, long way by the wind. That was Crown. Now Madeley for Leeds. Straight away working the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is Graham Smith. Simmons being outjumped by Hunter, but he was pushed. So it's a free kick to Colchester. Norman Hunter. And Leeds will want to press home the advantage of this almost gale force wind they've got in the first half. Taken by Brian Hall, hit by Lewis. Oh, that was well blocked. Crawford really got hold of that. Graham Smith with the goal kick for Colchester. Hunter, this is Madeley, and trouble off the ball between Simmons and Hunter, and an open clash. So Jack Charlton with a kick. Skidded off the head of Brian Garvey. It's a corner. 5 minutes gone, no score. This is the first corner of the match. These 5 minutes have emphasised just what a part the wind is going to play in this. It's full of trouble. Charlton up on the goal line. Lorimer with the kick. Lorimer with the throw. Cooper, Lorimer. Awkward. Clark! But that all went wrong for the defence because of the wind, and Clark was inches wide. Ball hanging back in the wind. Won by Madeley. This is Jones. Madeley again. A cram for Colchester. It's Giles. 10 minutes gone and no score. Carla. Smith. It wasn't much of a challenge by Lorimer. The crowd didn't like it, but the referee waved it on. Hall. It's Lewis. Vaughan. Lewis. Vaughan is chance here. And Sprake save Leeds then, with the defence absolutely sliced apart. It was a very neat move by Colchester, and Leeds looked totally incapable then of stopping it. Simmons fleeced by Jack Charlton. Well, Charlton missed his tackle completely. And the ball ran very kindly for Leeds then, and in fact, the referee stopped play and penalised Charlton. Now this free kick could be awkward because any ball in the air is a real test. Kick being taken by Brian Lewis. Ormsbury missed it, and Gibbs. Crawford got it. And look at the celebrations. Lewis's cross is beautifully flighted. Sprake, the goalkeeper, commits himself. He misses it entirely, and Crawford's header is sheer perfection.
Ray Crawford, who scores so often at all levels of football, has done it again. 18 minutes gone. 4th Division Colchester leads 1-0. Charlton
And Leeds are going to have to fight really hard here because conditions are against really controlled football. Hunter, Reaney. Not him up. Don Reevy and Les Crocker there will recognise that they've got an uphill problem. Cooper. Turner. Gilchrist. Crack. Good ball. Gibbs. Crawford's there. And Simmons. 2-0 for Colchester. This cross by Gibbs finds Crawford again making all sorts of trouble for this Leeds defence. Admittedly, at this moment the ball ran kindly for him, but look how quickly he reacts. Hooking the ball with that left foot, it hits the post and just crosses the line as Simmons puts the final touch. Leeds in the most desperate mess. After 24 minutes. And although the wind seems to be destroying Leeds football, it's certainly not destroying Colchester, who, let's face it, have made their moves well and built up very nicely indeed. Play being brought back, it's a free kick to Leeds, and the players don't know. Well, Colchester are full of aggression. And they're playing their football well, they're working out their moves, and the conditions just don't seem to unsettle them. Reaney is still explaining to Cooper what went wrong as Giles took the kick and Clark there. And Clark had returns that, there was no doubt about that. He was in space and he was unmarked. And Colchester's trouble at the moment, they're so elated, the team, but they're losing a bit of concentration. Garvey. Hunter, this is Mark. And Colchester, unbelievably, seem to be yards quicker at the moment than Leeds. And they're separated, really, in the four tables by about 70 places. Torini. Minute of injury time played in the first half. Bates for Leeds. Jones. Gilchrist who got the decisive foot there. Lewis, and a throw to Leeds. Lewis quite happy to waste time by kicking the ball away. A Cooper with the throw. The whistle will go any moment, and there it is. And Leeds are trailing by 2 goals to 0. The goal scored by Ray Crawford after 18 and 24 minutes, 30-odd years of age, has really shown himself in this first half to be a very, very good player still. And as Leeds go back into the dressing room, they know going to face the sort of onslaught from their manager that they've been facing from Colchester on the pitch. Because Don Reevy, the Leeds manager, cannot be happy with this Leeds display in the first half. Well, these are Colchester supporters, and it must have been well worth the time to see their team play like that in the first half. The team's back on the field now for the start of the second half, and Colchester leading by 2 goals to 0. Playing with a strong wind now behind them, and this is Hall, and straight away they're causing trouble. Simmons was looking there for the ball coming back off Gary Sprake. And Lorimer. Charles has got up with the attack and not been able to make contact, and that was dangerous kicking. Well, as First Division players, of course, Leeds should have a fair amount of control and be much superior with ball skills, but it's not shown today. Simmons. Bates. Curler. Clark. Curler sticking hard at Clark. This is Cooper. And it's gone for a corner. The decision's a perfectly good one, in fact. The crowd probably didn't recognise the rebound, but no doubt at all about it, and that was why the goalkeeper made such desperate efforts to stop it. Well, Leeds have pushed 9 men right up for this. They've got to get back in this game. And that's Cram again. Cooper for Leeds. Turning into trouble. Crawford. And Lewis for Colchester. And Simmons 1 against 1 here. Simmons and Reedy. And it's there!
Cooper lost it, remember, and look how quickly and simply Brian Lewis took advantage. A simple ball, hesitancy between goalkeeper and defender, and David Simmons gets the third.
Well, the scenes are at this ground, really, what can one expect? 4th Division Colchester 3, Leeds United 0, and no one can complain or quarrel about that not being a true reflection. In fact, Colchester have been good value for this throughout, and that goal was well taken. "54 minutes gone. Reedy, and what can Leeds do about this? Lorimer. Simmons. This is Lewis. Lewis prepared to juggle with the ball. He left Cooper, England's fullback, dead then. That's Madeley. And a goal kick. And such is the confidence now of Colchester that Lewis was able to take on one of the best fullbacks in the world, Cooper, and he left him standing. Curler. Gibbs. Smith. Hall, rather. Gibbs. Giles for Leeds. To Lorimer. Oh, there's a chance here for Jones. Is he good enough? Those are chances that you must just take. You just cannot miss them. Bates. This is Mann. Bates for Leeds. Giles. Clark. Bates. Madeley. Now this is Hunter. Madeley. That's a corner, and one has the feeling now that Leeds have accepted at last they got a match on their hands. They're 3-0 down, and suddenly they're starting to happen. It's taken a long time for them to come to the boil. They've pushed 9 men into the 18-yard box for this corner, and Colchester have got 10 back. And it's there! Hunter! So Leeds, after 1 hour, pull 1 goal back through Norman Hunter.
And from this corner, Norman Hunter produced one of the finest leaps of his career. Just watch him get up to this. 3-1.
And significant that very few of the players have taken the bother to congratulate Hunter. Leeds now down to the serious business of staying in the FA Cup. Grim-faced, can't wait to get back in action. That may just be a turning point in this match. There's still plenty of time left to save it. Hunter. Clark. Jones. Madeley. Right into trouble. Simmons.
Lewis. Free kick to Colchester. Brian Lewis is giving Terry Cooper a fair amount of trouble. Sprake's not getting any distance at all against this wind. This is dangerous again, Leeds caught. Crawford. Oh, he'll not have many better chances than that. And this is Charlton for Leeds. And Crawford hanging his head. That's just the kind of thing he usually finishes so well, and that surely would have been the finish of Leeds then. But a spectator trouble in the background. This is Madeley. Hunter to Cooper. Bates. Jones. Giles. Yes! And Johnny Giles, so cool and so assured with that left foot. And Leeds are really back in now with a chance. 3-2.
Well, that goal developed from this ball from Bates. He plays it across the goal mouth. It's knocked from Giles to Jones. And watch Giles get away from the defence and just turn into space. The return so accurate and the finish so accurate as well.
So they've got 17 minutes left, and Leeds have pulled themselves back into the match. Caravan. Reedy. Baum to Hall. Hall will be happy to waste time down there. This is Bates. Jones, and Colchester a little bit split. Jones has got Clark with him, but the cover's racing back. It's Clark, and they've missed each other then, Giles and Clark. It's Gibbs now, a good ball, a Crawford, and this really is a cup tie, end to end. And Simmons courts break. Clark for Leeds. Lorimer. Yes! Just wide, and Charlton had the chance of the match. When I said yes, he had the space, he had the time. The ball was coming in the right place. And he really should have scored, and there are just 11 minutes left. And if Leeds go out, Jack Charlton will reflect on that, I think. And Lewis for Colchester. Let Crawford chase that. Reedy and Crawford here. And what a good save by Sprague. And Leeds now have to walk a tightrope of their own making. They've got to go forward, they've got to take chances in defence, and they can pay the penalty for that. 7 minutes left. And if that had been a goal, surely Leeds would have been certainly out. Lewis with the corner. This time purely orthodox. Crawford. And Norman Hunter's got a knock in the 6-yard box. It takes a lot to disturb Norman Hunter. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes for last year's beaten finalists and First Division leaders at the moment to save the indignity of being beaten by a 4th Division side. Hunter back on the field, as you may have noticed. This is Reedy. Lorimer. Round the back of the defence. Yes! Oh, what a save! And that must be one of the saves of the season. Jones got to that. It ricocheted away. And if Colchester survived this last 4 minutes, Graham Smith deserves a special cup medal. The referee, under considerable pressure from the crowd, are blowing their own whistles for time. A minute of injury time been played. Crawford wasting as much time legitimately as he can. And Leeds must get on with this. Hunter to Cooper. boots with the throw. And the whistle's gone. Leeds United are beaten. And look at the celebrations of this record crowd of Colchester. The police trying to stop them invading the pitch. And the police indeed have done a good job here because so many people are trying to climb the barriers. The players rushing to get off. And this a magnificent performance by the 4th Division side. And really, you cannot argue about the result. It is just about right.
Well, that is what the FA Cup is all about. And afterwards, Don Revie, the Leeds manager, honest as always, had this to say. Colchester won on their merits, and whoever tackles them at Layer Road has a real job on their hands. Here now, the Colchester manager, Dick Graham, and the man who played such a big part in this match, Ray Crawford.
Dick, you're a man who says that he believes in football miracles, but this must be something that's happened today.
Well, I don't think it was a miracle. I think we earned it today, didn't we? We worked hard and we played very well today. I don't think it was a miracle.
I must say that no one could quarrel with the result, but no one could expect it in many ways either.
Well, I must say I was a little bit surprised to get 3 goals. You know, I was hoping we could beat them 1-0 or something like that, but to get 3 goals was marvellous. But we must give credit to this magnificent Leeds side for the way they controlled their game after we got 3 goals, and they came back at us, and we were chasing the ball around in circles, quite honestly. And to get those 2 goals back, and then only that magnificent save by Graham Smith at the last few minutes, you know, really put us into the next round. And what a crowd we've got, haven't we? You know, they really got behind us, didn't they? And they urged us on, and the tired old legs kept going. It was marvellous.
You've got this knack for scoring goals. You know, you either have it or you haven't got it. You've got it, and you certainly showed it again.
Yeah, well, I'm due one good game a year. Perhaps I had it today. But, you know, I do score goals against Leeds. I don't know why. It's 10 now in my career, so none more important than today.
Poor Jackie Charlton, he's had this broken nose. He didn't seem to settle at all today, did he?
No, I think it must have played him up a bit, you know, it looked like it. But then again, the rest of I think we played well, David. Don't take any credit away from us. We chased them, harassed them, and I thought we had a go at them, you know.
A richly deserved victory, and fascinating to hear the brave approach employed by the so-called minnows, epitomising the true FA Cup spirit. Join us again soon for some more classic ties. Goodbye.